Hi, I'm Jonathan Hardesty, the Dungeon Master of this campaign, and you're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast. Special thanks to Gordon McAlpin for creating the artwork for our show, and for ArcKnight for providing us with minis and props for our table. And a hearty thanks to you, our audience, for your support. Now, on with the show.
Friends, fiends. Now, where was I? Oh yes. Our heroes had awoken to find themselves trapped in some kind of sacrificial altar, with no memory of how they got there. With some cunning and some rather shitty shackles, our heroes made their escape and stumbled upon a scene of death and destruction. Some real serious shit. What will our heroes find next? Pull up a chair and pass me some of that sweet ale, and I will tell you more about these Demon Dayz.
And with the rumble, the portcullis, it creaks really loudly, and then just shifts up. Takes a minute or two to fully get all the way up, giving you full access to that room. And of course, as you guys go that direction, you get everything I just described to Tazlin, but for yourself. You can see the Barl Gura.
In the mural, do I recognize anyone? Do I know what the conflictor of this battle was?
I would say for a low DC, do just a history check.
Okay.
Because this is probably something that you would have been educated on back home.
What? I mean, who's to say, really?
Whether you remembered or not.
I mean, not that anyone would. 14.
14, yeah. It's commonly referred to as the ongoing blood war between devils of the Nine Hells and the demons of the Abyss.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a sense that there's a very kind of a coherent theme to this. Of this place is warlike and between two sides.
Kind of like a keystone?
No, just on the walls. So it's just basic wall. This is very much almost like cathedral style. There's a stone ceiling and columns that don't move. You can kind of see that they're more firmly in place. It's just like art off to the side and etching in. It's a very very worshipy.
What part of the scene you described was the mural, and what was the death that was everywhere?
There are just bodies and pews broken and shattered everywhere on the ground itself. Mm-hmm. And then on the walls there is art and etched into the stone depicting demons and devils on one side.
I just kind of point you, Lisa, and I'm like, that way, ape man, go, be free.
And I get really excited because I noticed the Asimar on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're... Yeah.
If you want to, you can do an investigation on the...
Yes, I want to do... Yes.
Hashtag Asimar on top. Let's get that trending, gang.
I rolled a nat 20 and got a +5, and so 25. Yeah.
Okay, I'll hold on.
My rolls are either 1s or 20s today. This is weird.
I have a dice set that does that too. It's fine for now. If we get into combat, pray.
Within the tunic, you just start kind of peeling this guy's clothes off. Anyone else, it would be kind of disrespectful to a dead warrior or something. But you're just peeling off the leathers and the fur. And you're just kind of like, what's in here? What's in here? Kind of lifting up.
That's great.
You're desecrating the crime scene, as it were. But you find in the tunic, there's a folded piece of paper, and you open it up and it bears this insignia of a snowflake whose central negative space kind of forms an angular skull. And the rest of the text is written in a language you don't recognize. Very compact, thin together, and tall, but almost... You find it kind of elegant. And the layout and the text of the icon suggests kind of an edict or an order of some kind.
Do I notice anything else?
You also notice that there's attached to the belt, kind of tucked in a little bit, is just a pouch of 10 gold pieces.
This is probably important, but I can't read it. Does anyone come look at this, guys? I don't know this language.
I go over.
Okay, and you look at it. What? Just as a quick reminder, what languages do you guys have?
Common and Infernal.
Common, Infernal.
Same. Oh god.
Common Infernal.
I have a Bizzle Common Infernal.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, none of you guys understand it. Similarly, though, it looks like an order of some kind. If any of you want to do a history check on the actual icon itself, you can. But yeah, the text itself is understandable.
Give me 11.
Anyone else do a history on that?
Oh, I will.
I just immediately
Crazy. Yo,
nope,
no,
can't read it and
Okay.
start walking and looking around.
6.
6? Yeah.
No good.
You're like, oh wait, could it be? Nope. I was
You
thinking
going
of something
dice?
else.
His weapon is still inside the
Dice?
demon. Right?
Lodge deep in that thing's back, yeah.
I'm gonna, just because I want
Hashtag lodge
to see
deep.
the insides of this thing, I think I'm gonna wiggle this sword around a little bit.
Just do a strength check, a regular strength check on that. It's fine.
So I look at you, looking at it.
And you just kind of tilts
Yep.
his head. It's like,
Oh, it's on that scene.
Oh god damn it! I got a 1.
Fetter's just kind of looking at me, clapping, and I'm just like nodding. I'm
Very
just
eager. Very eager.
You can really tell you're like, yes, and you're pushing, like nothing happens. It is so deep in, like there's like maybe about half a foot between it and like it looks like a big sword just lodged directly in.
Maybe
And just like
if
nothing
you like
happens.
get on top of it and try and like pull it out.
Yeah, now I'm gonna.
You
You never know. Go ahead, do
taking
it.
her advice is like very on the nose and straightforward with no like hidden intent or whatever. You just like, all right, again, nothing. It's still like you're still like whether it's the squishiness on the back and the scarred body, just kind of like as you're pushing your feet in, you kind of like the skin's moving a little bit. You know, it's not getting. There's no grip enough.
Nice try. It was a good try. Thank you for that.
I'm gonna blame the demon hide, you guys. Or the devil hide. It's definitely really tough.
Alright.
I'm very strong.
Light up that
Insight check.
a cigarette. As I'm like leaning back against the wall. First crime scene, love. You're like the cat who caught the canary in here. You don't have to put your hands in every dead body we walk past, honey.
But why wouldn't you?
well, because it's a dead body.
You guys are continuing on.
Yeah.
Or are you guys
I'm gonna like
that dead
step
body.
over the body. Whatever body near me has like an arrow.
That's you.
I put my sword away.
Put your sword away?
Yeah.
It seems like this, whatever happened here happened. It's done.
I'm gonna souvenir. You never know what comes in handy for like scrying or something. I reach over and try and pull an arrow out of the body.
Comes out. Was it of a rogue person or anybody else? Like just
Whoever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Comes up pretty easily. It's a gross sound. Some blood still on it.
Big doors, guessing? Far into the room?
No, yeah. There's a doorway, but there's no door. It seems like just a landing to kind of head down. You take that and it's like a spacious staircase as you kind of start to walk downward, and it goes on for a little while. It's kind of dark. There's no light in this little section. You get down about maybe 40 feet down these stairs before turning sharply left into a very kind of uninteresting drab stone room. The walls are clean, the ceiling is clean, the ground, like it's all just like stone slab, very neat. The only thing to note in here are 4 miniature altars, each a little taller than about your waist high. And each one looking like each one kind of carved looked like an imp of some kind, reaching up to hold on to something. And in those cupped hands rests a vial of thick, dark red liquid. And the way beyond them is shut.
I'm gonna walk over to one of them, stick my my little finger in the dark liquid, and just touch it to my tongue.
Tastes like blood.
What is wrong with you?
It's just a little blood.
Why does death make you so uncomfortable? We all do it.
Right.
Do you think this is our blood, you guys?
Probably.
Yeah, possibly. 4 of us.
Investigation check.
taste
anyone?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just give you.
I would say for this one, maybe one person pick, and
not
then
mine.
someone else give them advantage.
I'll give you advantage.
Okay.
Because he's looking up.
21.
I'm looking up while
21. Oh,
Yusuf
perfect.
has my finger. Tasting the blood.
I taste it. Is it ours?
You taste it?
But I taste your finger.
I'm not
Taste her
sure.
finger?
She said,
I quite
"Is it our blood?" I was like, I don't know.
And I gave, like,
I
he
know-
was like, I
he
want
knows
to
what
taste
his
the
blood
finger.
tastes
You know what your blood tastes like?
Yes, my
That's
kind of podcast.
weird.
Really?
Yes.
That's weird.
You don't eat the samples.
What did I say?
Specimens.
All right. So as they're doing this weird back and forth about blood, you kind of examine each of the imps, and one of them appears to be wearing a tailored suit of some kind. And you notice, you look to the next one. The next one has a kind of a pose that's almost like acrobatic in nature. And then the other one has a carving of a raven on its shoulder. And the last little imp pulling it has hooves.
I go to the one with hooves and I open the vial and I taste the blood.
It's yours.
I'm taking this back. Anyone want to collect their blood from the weird imps of us?
Obviously.
Well, I point at the door. I'm like, door's shut, and all our blood's here.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
check for traps.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
It's 10.
10? Seems fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pull it.
I'm gonna take my vial and put it in one of like my bottle holsters.
Yeah. And as you grab each one, like the statue kind of shifts down a little bit, and the door that you came from, back up,
wonderful.
shuts. But the door before you opens.
Anybody get a feeling like we're being herded?
Yeah, a bit.
Well, moo.
Is that like a meta question? Or?
No, that's legitimately me. That's
Jonathan.
legitimately I'm like, do we feel like we're being herded? Okay, moo. I just walk forward.
Yeah, moo indeed. And I'll follow behind you.
All right.
There is also the option to go back the way we came
And go through the other.
and try the other door.
That would require us to put our vials back on the altars, and I'm not so cool with that.
It's just blood. You make more of it every day.
True, but I know what you can do with blood.
Me too.
Not a painting.
Wow.
It's already been done. No
That's
one is
where she
alive. And I think if we're being herded, it's worth considering that maybe the blood is meant to tempt us. We're meant to think this way.
She's not wrong. I am curious what's the other way. When the door opens, does it lead outside or does it lead further into the cavern?
It's continuing on into this thing. So the way in front of you is, it's pretty dark from where you're standing. You can't really see very far past it. But it doesn't look like they continue on that path.
Well, we all have dark vision, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I can send this little guy reach over and pet my raven.
Is that gonna make your eyes do the weird white thing again?
Yeah.
Just as a double check, is there a limit on how many times you can do that, or is it just at will?
No, it's at will.
Okay.
However, like per what we discussed, if I ever get into battle, like
Okay, yeah.
that goes away. I can't use him.
Did you do that?
I don't know. What do you? I mean,
Sounds right to me.
all right. You cool? There you go. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
The raven kind of coos a little bit and goes forward, and you again go into that stance. You can't hear anything from in the room that you're in, but you are very in perception of the raven itself.
This time, if I do see anything, I'll actually
Communicate it?
communicate it.
So as the bird flies in it kind of lands on this cracked stone basin, dried out, empty of any contents, and it sits on this kind of pedestal that's about, again, waist high with just writing kind of etched all around it. And the bird kind of like looks around a little bit and kind of hops around the basin, the lip of the bowl for a little bit, and turns around and looks back up kind of towards you guys. And again, it's weird that you can kind of see yourself through the doorway a little bit. But you notice too that the etching on the wall in the doorway looks like a face, a demon mouth, just like an open mouth, like you'd be, I mean, like you guys are inside a mouth from the bird's vantage point. It looks that way, kind of like curious, like, oh, and then hops around the other side and kind of hops onto these two, like onto one of these two statues, kind of a head, and just kind of looks around. And there's winged devils kneeling before the carving on the wall. So they're looking towards you guys, kind of like a supplication, sort of like a oh please, kind of very contrite look towards their hands are like kind of coming out like, oh, please, sir, I want some more. And
Please, sir, can I
you
have
see
another?
kind of a light little flame that just kind of burns in the area of their hand just a little bit, just like kind of dances around a little bit, very faint, and then beyond them, through even the bird's vision, is just complete black. But it can't see beyond this wall of dark, and neither could you through the. So it lands on your shoulder, looks at you again. I think it knows it kind of weirds you a little bit, and then
Yeah, I'm like,
pops up.
not gonna get used to that anytime soon.
You're very familiar with your right cheek.
My left side is definitely my better side.
And so she relays this as this is all happening, and it's kind of weird because at first she was like all just like in a day, and then she's like very monotone. It is this, it is that.
So the supplicants, are they statues? Or are they dead bodies?
They're stone statues, similar to the imps before. You get a sense that these rooms are playing very interchangeably with this concept: devil, demon, imp, things like that.
Walk out the mouth. Looking at the demon face, like, does it look like it's a specific?
No, it is caricaturized. Very, very much an imagining of a demon face. It's more for like, if you're looking in that direction for it to shock you. Something like, aha, kind of a gotcha look. The mouth is very big, doorway big, and seems to not be proportionally correct with other parts of it. It's very much there to just be unsettling.
Do the imps and the visage lean towards the devil side of things or the demon side of things in this room?
The two imps face that carving. So there's only just the one demon face carving.
Right, and then the two imps that are
Facing it, yeah.
yeah. But just from which side of the coin are we on here? Is it more abyssal or is it more?
But this depiction is playing very fast and loose with the details and doesn't care much for accuracy. Because you can see little bits of abyssal here with the way the skin kind of roils a little bit and the etching, and here where it's like, this is clearly devil features. It's, for you, kind of aggravating that no one can just fucking decide what art to do.
I'm gonna look backwards towards like the mouth. Does it give me kind of the sense of like a fun house?
Yeah, you kind of get that sense that like this feels like a madhouse. Like that's the first like kind of word association that pops in your brain. Like this feels like a madhouse.
What does the darkness feel like?
You just reach out.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch it just to see if it's
Empty.
space
It just
or
feels like
it's
space.
void.
But you can't like when your arm put your arm in there, you can't see your arm.
It's just a wall of dark.
Just a wall of dark, and it defies your dark vision. Like you walk up to it, and it's like that's where visibility ends for you completely, utterly.
Is there a smell or a sound? Is there anything coming from it, or is it just void?
I don't know how well to describe it, but when you're in an area that's bigger and the lights are off, it feels spacious.
And the basin?
The
is
basin?
it the empty basin, like the stand? Are there any markings or anything on that?
You can see some stuff etched onto it, and I would say just do a quick investigation while you were doing
What would
that.
happen if you stuck your head in there?
24.
Okay, as you're kind of making your way forward, you kick a rock, kind of some loose pebble, and as it scoots out into the darkness, you hear it kind of clatter against like surface as it like falls.
Oh.
You hear it kind of as it kind of rolls down the side.
I don't love this. I feel like going toward a black abyss when we've already seen 2 dead devils is a bad idea.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you on that.
I mean, anybody want to stick their head in the blackness?
I absolutely do not.
I did not expect
basin.
that from you.
Is there the inside of it? Is it their blood or anything?
No,
Is
just
it-
try it out.
Try it out.
If you want to do an investigation kind of on around it, you can kind of.
Yeah.
How many supplicants are there with the light?
There's just 2.
Two.
It's just 2, kind of like basic sconces, if you will, to give the room enough light to see anything in there.
Oh, a 6.
A 6? Good enough. You notice that you understand the writing. And it takes a second though, and it's weird. Kind of a weird aspect to older Infernal language is that it has a buffering period. In earlier versions of Infernal in this world, they wanted to try and make it a living language that actually changed over time, and only with the blood in you could kind of catch up to what it was saying. Kind of a way to like also stymie younger demonkin, like anyone who is maybe not as versed in older ways. But you had enough education to know that if you just wait long enough, this would make itself known to you. Roll just a quick intelligence, low DC on that.
Everybody?
No, just him. He's investigating it.
Natural 1.
Natural
I'm
1?
gonna miss.
That's not what I wanted.
Uh-oh.
You need to shame those dice.
You go in there too. You go in the coffin.
Okay. You, as you're looking at it, some word, like one word does form, but the other words never come. The only thing you get is carry.
Is it like blood covered on prom or like?
No, like carry, like lift, carry. Wow. And that's all you get, but you know the system. And you know that, like, with your heritage, it's possible. So you can communicate that if you want. Or...
Harry. Anyone else know Old and Infernal? You stare at it long enough, it should rattle loose.
Just do it intelligence.
1.
15. 6.
All right.
Do I get carry or do I get a different word?
You get the. It begins the sentence, but you get the. Taslin, though, you get the whole thing. You sit there for a second, and you're like, what is this? The characters start to morph, and you see the, freed, blood, will, carry, your steps.
I just kind of tilt my head.
So yeah, so it takes about a minute for the words to form. Feder, you recognize that she's getting it, and it's like, yeah, that is part of why they stopped using it.
Blood goes in the bowl, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we don't have to do this.
You really want to see what's the other way, don't you?
I do.
So do I.
I really don't feel like... I feel like 2 dead demons is enough for me today. And if there's more death through the other door, I need to see it. I don't want to go to hell.
I mean...
You just said the 2 dead demons was enough for you, and yet you
Well,
say
I mean,
now
I don't
you
want to
wanna
see live ones. And I feel like if we keep going deeper into a literal abyss...
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just learning how to communicate with people. Be patient.
Fair enough.
What? I'm kind of like black curtain nothingness. Concealing something. Funhouse.
And you said you didn't want to be separated from your blood.
I did not.
Yeah, well, that seems to have already happened at least once today, so...
Twice.
Why not make it 3 times? Once, twice, 3 times a lady, right?
Well...
This, I hold the vial. I'm like, this still counts as once.
So...
Or twice. I guess this would have been once.
Hold on. So, the decision may have already been made for us. We go back, we put the vial back in the imps. Door doesn't open, stuck on one direction. But I guess, so maybe let's start there, see if the doors reconfigure. I'm kind of
Curious?
with Towson. I'm onward and upward.
Downward, and that's the problem.
Onward and downward, it's still just as good.
Yeah.
In their defense, we could be at the peak of a mountain and we're going back down to the ground.
That's fair.
And I mean, you are a tiefling. You're kind of attached to hell.
I'm not really attached to anything. Attachment is a choice.
Right, okay. So,
You're starting to make more sense to me.
let's, I'll just walk back and put my vial back in the imp and just kind of stand there and wait patiently.
Why not experiments?
When you put it back in, like when you took it out, the imp went downward in the mechanism. When you put the vial back in, it goes back up. Weird, because it defies the way those things should go, but it has an actual thing. It pops back up to where it was when you first saw it. So just your one does that. Is everyone else doing the same thing, or not?
I mean, reluctantly, but
Okay.
sure.
I will say this as I'm setting the vial back in.
Okay.
Like, if we came in, we were the key to get through this door. So this may be how we came in, because we couldn't have come in from both sides, could we?
Yes. So this would be the way out if it was the way in.
Right. That
Okay.
being said, I'm still curious what's on the other side of that room.
Sure.
And I feel like once we go through that abyss, black curtain, whatever, there's probably no coming back.
Possibly.
Also that.
I really want to know who carved this because I definitely have some notes.
Critique?
So yeah, as you put it down, they both pop up. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna start to kind of put mine down, and then I pause. And I just kind of go, maybe Hold on, and I start looking at the floor. Is it like stone? Is it dusty?
Clear stone. There's
No
like
dust,
even
no.
with your just basic perception, you see there's clean, a little bit of dust, but
Oh, never mind.
What if, bear with me,
Already there.
we keep our vials so that we can come back the other way and spill new blood in the basin? I just don't want to lose the opportunity to go back.
I'm confused.
No, like we keep our blood vials so we can always go back through that door with
everyone's
names.
vials are in there, right?
yeah.
But then we go down the hall to the empty basin where it says we need blood to get through the abyss.
As you're starting to kind of make the defense, as everything's been put down, the door leading toward that basin shuts, and the other door behind opens,
Yeah, it's
as if an immediate response.
a one-way deal. So
Yep, it's either that way or that way.
So back we go, I suppose.
It takes you about 20 minutes to head back the way you can, just because
Climbing all over the bodies.
climbing all the bodies, you see the same stuff, and you get yourself back into the main kind of altar room.
I'm gonna let them all, when we go back through the cathedral, I'm gonna let them all get ahead of me,
Okay.
and I am going to place 3 gold coins at the bottom left hand of the mural, and then I'll catch up.
As we're going back through, I'm going to do a knowledge history on the mural.
Okay.
Just to see if I get anything. 18.
As you guys are all walking, you kind of take a moment, not long enough to notice what Feather's doing, but you just kind of look at everything, and you get a sense of.
So I didn't really take it in before.
Yeah.
So I'm studying it a little bit.
You notice on the demon side of the wall that both demon and devil side of the wall that everyone at the bottom has looks younger, smaller, frailer, maybe less in rank. If you're trying to kind of describe like what's different between all these, and it seems like from the lower end they are of a lower status. It feels like a lower status, and as they get up further up, they're more detailed. Even the carvings, like there's a little bit less.
Mirror, dretch.
Yeah, you sense a sense of hierarchy, and as it gets to the top, it gets to like what you would consider to be like, okay, well, if there were a demon boss or a devil boss or like something that was to lead these things, they would be up there. But nothing comes to mind of who that might be, and it doesn't seem like that's specific enough. But you get a sense that there's a hierarchy on the wall, so it's pointing up as
Pit
if like
Fiend, Baylor.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, and they're a lot more general in terms of what they are. So it's not like you know, like, oh, that's Steve. Steve.
Alan! Steve.
So as you go,
Barry.
as you go up the walls, you see kind of like the ranks.
The ranks.
What's above us? Like, does it come together?
It doesn't.
that-
Unlike
is
the
that
dome of the altar room where you were in, this one is just a depiction, like more mural than anything.
Is this a dome or is it like flat wall? Flat wall.
Yeah, more flat, but still kind of big enough to feel cathedral-like. So it's minus all the spires and all that. It just kind of stops and hits. But there's nothing on the ceiling or anything like that. It seems a little much different than the
Sorry,
room.
I meant the mural itself. Like, you've got the rank and file of both going up to the ceiling, or does that go to the middle as well?
Just to the ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it seems like, it looks like it's more, because when you look up at the ceiling, you kind of see it's a little bit more carved, less smooth. So it's like they may have just carved this room out and
Got
made
it.
this perfect, and then, why bother with the top part?
The ceiling.
Yeah.
Copy that. Okay, cool.
Lazy?
It happens with cultists, right?
Yeah, they have other shit to do.
So yeah, so you all eventually make your way back into the chamber, this altar sacrificial chamber thing, and yeah, it just looks as it had before. So with all the now all the columns are facing to you guys as you come in.
So, swing around to that side.
Worth try.
Near the door.
Yeah. All right.
For the record, I still like the black curtain more.
Yeah, and you guys all
Noted.
just continue to turn it over, and as you turn them back over, they kind of briefly click when they were in that middle position facing the altar itself, but then you can keep going with it, and when they get to the other side, that too clicks, and swaparoo, the doors change. So the one behind you closed, one before you is open. It leads down.
Balls. While we're down.
Draw my sword, and I'll take point, I guess.
Yeah. And as you guys, I would actually say as you're making your way down, just quick, who's gonna be first? Like marching order.
Yeah, I'll take point.
You'll go first?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
I'll fall in behind him.
Okay. And then
I'll go next.
3 and 4. Okay.
In the back.
Because it's pretty thin. It's one person wide. As you go through, you're kind of like funneled into this small staircase going down, and so you go maybe 20 feet or something.
Being a craftsman, I'm trying to figure out if this staircase was built coming up or going down.
I mean, it's fairly easy to see because it seems carved, and it seems to be carved downward. So it seems like they built it downward from there. So this crude staircase descends and then opens out into like a small little hallway that intersects kind of at the center. So it's like a cross. So it goes across, and then there's more hallway to the left and right. To the left and right of this intersection is a series of 6 holding cells, all in various stages of decay and destruction. The air is heavy with the smell of rot, decay. Like not
Like 3 and 3 or 6 and 6.
6 on one side,
6
6 on the other. Yeah.
Do any of them look like we might have been in them at some point?
If you want to do an investigation check, we can.
I'll give you advantage.
Thank you.
I'm just kind of hanging back where the smell is the least.
7.
I mean, this isn't very difficult because it's a matter of just walking and looking with your dark vision. So you start off kind of to the left-hand side. You see the iron bars of the door. The cell's rusted and the door is broken off its hinges. And you see this corpse of an Aasimar woman with long white hair braided back, stained with blood, tan skin, blue face paint over the face, and kind of the design of a skull, similar to your that sheet that
The snowflake.
the snowflake. Most of her legs are crushed under collapsed rock, and a large gash on the right side of her head where a big piece of stone hit it. You can see the direct, like you can see the rock there with the scatter of blood and brain matter. Most of that side of the face has just been crushed, and on her you can still see off to the side of it a wolf pendant necklace, and that's for the left side of that.
I'll toss the body if there's anything else, if she's got any other possessions.
She has a couple pieces of gold in a pouch nearby, but the only thing she has is the pendant necklace otherwise.
Okay.
But she's pretty lodged in there, so if you want to tear her out of it, it would take probably a combined strength thing. So she's lodged in that rock.
Does the wolf look like any type of recognizable
Not specific.
Like she's not a witcher or anything, right?
No. This is Lady Geralt. Geralt Tina.
Siri.
yeah.
We're fucked.
Too many side quests.
Yeah.
No, it seems standard, like a generic trinket thing. So more like aesthetic.
What's it made out of?
Just some iron.
Okay.
Like iron, and then you can see it kind of is a jar of like it's like a locket of some kind.
How long has she been dead?
It looks like fairly similarly.
About to ask that.
Yeah, similarly to everyone else. Seems fairly recent. Like the smattering of blood. Like when Lisa comes in, she kind of slips a little bit on the blood nearby.
So whatever event happened possibly caused structural damage, caused a cave in as well.
Yeah, this seems very different from the other rooms. The other rooms seem like they fared fairly well. This area seems like it was very well constructed.
Okay.
This cave-in happened at the same time as the battle because of the battle.
I'm not sure. Maybe the summoning of whatever happened.
Who grabbed the locket? Did anyone grab it, or is it just still there?
Yeah, no, I'll pull it off, and I guess we'll try and pull her out, maybe, if there's anything else to find.
Yeah, we just need a strength check. With if it's just you with its disadvantage with someone else.
Yeah, take advantage.
Okay, cool.
16. Or sorry, 18.
Yeah, it's kind of gross, but you pull her out from the corpse out from the crushed rock, and yeah, there she is. Her body is free minus the legs.
Close her eyes if they're open. Take the pendant, check said it looks like a locket.
Yeah.
Try and open it up.
Yeah, but you open it up and you see kind of stuffed in there, in the way like a lot of cheap lockets of this time have, like a little detailed drawing. And you can see this depiction of a bright blue-haired gnome woman.
I guess hang on to it.
Yeah.
All right, fun. And I'll go to the
To the right side?
The right side.
So you see in one of the cells, the iron bars are in pretty good condition and the cell door is locked. I mean, it's got some scuffs here and there. And toward the back, lying on the ground, is a dragon-like humanoid with faded blue scales. And you can see the hand is holding something.
And fish out my thieves' tools and
Okay.
sit down and try to get that lock open.
Roll the little sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. 15.
15? Oh, easy enough. These locks aren't very cream of the crop. It opens, click, and you
Dead
push
blue
in.
dragonborn.
Dragonborn? Dead?
Yeah, it sounds like Lisa just right up there.
It's just like right over my shoulder. Just like head appears as I'm like
as
bent
you're
down
walking
over
in,
the-
you don't realize that she's sitting there watching the whole time. You're like, there's a pink dragonborn, and she's right in ear, like next to your ear, like dragonborn.
Good God.
Like the audience sees that he's looking at, she's slowly held up over his shoulder.
Which is weird because it takes a minute. Because you see the horns first. The horns, horns, and the body.
Horns, bright eyes.
You don't get out much.
Oh no, I lived in a monastery for like 10 years. This all happened to me on my first week out.
Fantastic.
Like
All right.
it's starting to make sense.
So I'll talk. Well, hey,
Not
new friend, you want to help me toss the body then?
I don't want to. I mean, yes. What is?
Okay. So I'll
What is tossing the body?
I'll investigate.
Let me show you.
I'll investigate what he's holding. And,
All right, so yeah, in the hand, which you're able to kind of peel like without too much issue.
Right.
Just a jagged coin in the shape of a dragon's face.
it doesn't seem like a royal sigil or something, like a calling card or.
No,
It
no
just
problem.
seems like it's currency
Currency, yeah.
from a realm or region I don't know.
Right. You also see another coin pouch. This one is a little bit heftier, 15 gold pieces.
Okay. While I'm showing this to Lissa and explaining to her the minting of it, I'm gonna snatch that pouch of 15 gold without her seeing.
Okay. If you want to do a stealth check versus her perception,
Sure.
competing check there.
Nope.
Nope, off the table.
Oh god. Wormwood, send me my box so I don't have to do that anymore. 9.
9?
2.
2? Yeah. Yes. You're too interested in that dead dragonborn body that, again, is very different from anything else you've seen here, because it's been mostly like humans of like more northern, heftier stature and Aasimar. But then this dragonborn, like, those are usually from the south.
How did this person die?
Go ahead, check
Okay.
medicine.
God damn it.
I'll give you advantage on it as we both look
Okay.
at it together.
16.
16? This one looks to have died from some kind of sickness of some kind or just neglect. You can kind of see around the edges of its mouth, its long mouth, a lot more cracked and dried, and kind of the scales have, pretty far back, have kind of crumbled away more to dust.
So this is dead longer.
This one's been dead longer, yeah.
Okay.
And you notice the cell hadn't featured any sort of damage similar to like the Aasimar had.
Is there anything on the body that I would recognize because I am from the south?
This more southern region? Yeah, do maybe a history check.
Nat 20.
All right.
This is the dumbest.
Dave, what are you doing here?
It suddenly clicks for you as you're looking over the body. You've heard about Dragonborn, and they tend to not be in this region too much, except for one particular area further to the southwest, called the Ainraw Expanse. They tend to hole up in a city, Vangmar, and that seems to be where most of them come from. One region kind of in that dead area, that dead land, that is kind of racked by warfare. But that's about what you get. Like, it's like, for them to be this far, that's just weird. And then while you guys are looking over that, is anyone, what are the rest of you doing? Because there are other...
I'm still hanging back as far away from the smell as I can, going, you guys having fun?
You find another cell, and inside you see another corpse, although this one's just also decayed beyond recognition. You can see that this one also has a money pouch on it, but the door itself is locked.
Does the door seem like it's, I mean, all the structural stuff in here is kind of shitty. Does this door seem like it would give if given the proper motivation?
This one seems healthier than the other doors. It seems like on the other side, that left side, a lot more of the cave-in happened over in that direction versus here. You get the sense that this one's a little bit stronger, but not enough to where you couldn't lockpick it.
Want a hand with that, friend?
Sure.
13.
It unlocks. And yeah, you see another money pouch. Both of you as you.
Right.
You know it's a money pouch.
After you.
I go in, grab the pouch, and take a look through it.
Yeah, it's got 20 gold pieces. The last available cell, you hear kind of a little growling. When you look inside, you can see an emaciated gnoll.
A dog.
Yeah, a gnoll rests towards the back of the cell, curled up, and just is watching the door, watching you guys. It's not doing so well. It's kind of on its last legs, but it sees you and just kind of like it's too weak to do much about it.
Say hello in Infernal.
It kind of gets a little bit scared.
Not going to hurt you.
If there was a place further back in that room it could go,
It would be 13 persuasion. Not going to hurt you.
it calms a little bit. It's cautious, it's eyeing you.
Check the door. I'm guessing it's locked.
Yep, another locked one. This one seems to be a little bit better condition.
You keep your eye on him,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll try it.
It's kind of shaking, especially as you're working your magic on the.
Someone who just woke up in here, I really don't see the need to leave anyone else in here to die.
Right.
Natural 20.
Yeah, click.
Oh, it was open. You could have left at any time.
Yeah, like you and locked doors are just like no. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
buzz. Yeah, you get in there, and it's trying to like keep away from you. So as you get closer, it's just not it's doing the best as it can for her.
Come on, off you go. Come on.
It kind of looks at you, kind of tilts the head. I don't know. It doesn't necessarily understand what you're getting at.
Kind of motion for it to stand up.
Okay. It kind of tries, kind of like gets up a little bit, but its legs are pretty weak.
How long have you been here? Still speak. I think they speak Infernal. That's what I say to you. Like, I think they speak Infernal. I think it's one of them.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Should I try
Other
Abyssal?
languages. Sure.
Because it does kind of understand you a little bit, but it's so weak. It grabs a loose pebble and kind of pushes one aside, and then grabs another loose pebble and kind of pushes it aside next to the other one. And it gets another one last little rock kind of off to the side, and the three rocks together kind of bump into each other, and it kind of points and just starts to rest a little bit and close its eyes.
Right, okay. Well, the door's open, yeah. So,
Should we give it some food?
You notice that where you would normally see breath, like bring like expanding, it's not really doing anything.
I go to it.
Okay.
I recognize that it's dying. So I just sit with it while it does. And I say, I just comfort it in Abyssal while
Okay.
it goes. I'll say a prayer.
Okay. As you're doing that, it just eventually stops, and you kind of sitting there. You kind of can tell that it's a little colder.
He's gone.
cool. Has he got any stuff?
You can check.
Yeah.
You're very
I'll
kind.
Thank you.
I'll check the room and see if there's anything in here.
Has a couple of scraps of food, a silver piece, kind of meager.
All right, fine. Great.
Mager.
Pick up the silver piece. Is it also local?
Yeah, it's local.
Oh well, and throw it in the pouch.
Yeah.
I'll walk back past Taliesin and be like, "You're missing a whole bunch back there."
Oh, I'm just petting my raven. What's going on?
I'll look back at him and be like, "Is that what they're calling it these days?"
I mean,
You guys are kind of congregated back in now the middle, and there's still one
There's
path
forward, right?
There's one, yeah. It's pretty open. Like, looks like a crude door that was broken down.
I just really didn't like the smell. I mean, I have to meditate a lot to get away from vomiting that.
Yeah, it's quite taste.
So yeah, you guys go through, kind of past this room, and you get into this next little room here, and this is kind of a curious situation in this new room you're in. In the center is a kind of cracked stone slab table, almost examiner medical style, on which rests melted remains of some kind. Against the wall closest to you, you see crumpled a corpse of a robed figure whose right arm is outstretched and like locked in place. The extended hand kind of hums and crackles softly with a weak magical energy before kind of dissipating. It's singed beyond reason. Across from this view on the north wall is another robed corpse who looks to be the recipient of whatever this one did to it. It's lodged into the wall, kind of like folded over. So from forward, folded over forward, its backside is like shoved into the wall cracked. It received a huge blast of some kind, but both appear to be dead. You see the ground is silty with ash, and the rest of the room is just overturned bookshelves, smashed chests and papers and books, all of all kinds just scattered about.
Anybody missing the black wall at this point?
No, not at all.
There's no other door out of this room?
Nope.
Okay, this is the end. Well, we found the end. Shall we... Oh, this is interesting.
Wait, I've never seen someone die this way. I go to the melted corpse in the middle of the table to investigate.
I'm going to investigate the two robed figures to try to figure out if one of them looks like they...
Does someone want to lead the investigation for everyone with a friend for advantage?
I will...
I'm gonna let you. I'll give you the
you go
advantage.
for it.
Okay.
So, do
I
advantage.
turn to Yusa briefly and I go, okay, now she's starting to
Natural
concern me.
20,
Natural 20.
Now,
which turns into a 24.
Okay.
I'm glad to know what the limit switch is. That's good.
Somehow I missed some of this.
I creeped them out.
Yeah.
Not
I
me.
was
She's
like-
starting to make sense to me now.
All right.
When she prefers death over a black wall, I was like, okay, now you're starting to concern me.
Cool. That was a really great investigation check, so let's go through it. The robed figure on the south wall, the closest one to you, has spotted fur and cat-like features of the face. Judging from the about medium-sized tome attached to the belt by a small chain, the person was more likely a wizard. On the other side, lodged into the far wall, is an emaciated, hairless, and no distinct features on the face. Another one of those type cultists with the dark robes with the symbol on it. And when you get closer, you realize how far he got lodged into that wall. Like, no one's living from that. From where you stand, it's basically just an upper body with arms and feet. You know, like just like it's like,
So it's a no. No, it's not a no.
no, it's not a no.
It is what's left of a human. All
And
right.
yeah, and again, that the symbol catches your eye. You also see a few loose papers catch your eye with drawings and diagrams of various races. Almost all of them, like almost clinical. This is the head. This is hair follicles. This is ear with diagrams and like detailed diagrams. What isn't like burned away with the blast or wrecked.
So this is a laboratory, okay.
You're also, as you're walking around, you kind of happen to push some papers aside too, and you see a rather pristine-looking red leather-bound tome.
Okay.
As well as a blue one of a similar type. They're both very well kept, but they're both pretty hard to catch. You kind of happen to be like, you're walking back and forth, and you're like, well, let me just kick this over. Oh, this is buried under a lot of stuff.
The one that killed the cultist and fortune cookied him, I guess.
Right.
Were there any symbols or anything on him?
No.
My guess is that the cat was probably part of Adventure Dave and the Good Time Gang out there. You know, stole a robe, came in here, fortune cookied this fella. Hey, you want this book? And I'll pull the tome off the tabaxi and toss it. It seems like something you'd be into.
I steeple my fingers. Yes. Give me.
And then I'll hand the blue tome to you, and I'll start thumbing through the red one.
As you start thumbing through the red one, you
Wasn't there only 2 books?
There's only two.
There was a spell book on the tabaxi, right? Didn't you say? On
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, just a regular spell.
Okay.
I pulled the spell book off the tabaxi and gave it to you.
Okay, I just wanted
And
to
then-
make sure which book
Yeah.
did I have.
Yeah.
It's the book.
Yeah, the book, not the blue
book
book or the red book, but the book.
The book with the extra pages.
Great. Let's write that down.
Right.
Hey, right on the top, book.
Book.
So yeah, as you're looking through
The big book of
the
book.
red leather bound tome, as you go through it, you're kind of noticing that it looks to be a list of monikers with descriptions next to them, as if names on a ledger. You come across one fairly early on named Bitey. And then next to it is a kind of a descriptor. Knoll, youth, male. It says living, ? And you keep thumbing through more, and you see one that catches your eye. Angel, Asimar, female, incompatible, cycling along. You see one satyr, tiefling, male, Mephistopheles, proper blood. You come across one that's suit, tiefling, male, Dispater, proper blood. You see one monk, tiefling, female, Zariel, proper blood. And then the last one you come across, raven, tiefling, female, Fiorna, proper blood.
Awesome.
Very casually written on, just with,
And that's in both ledgers or just in the
just the red one.
Just the red one. Oh, look, someone kept notes on this. This is fun.
And do you
I kind of peek over, lean against your shoulder. Let me see that.
for the book you're looking at, it looks like it's spell book, but the inside is completely blank. Like immaculate, but blank pages. But it's weird. As you turn the pages, it seems like there is text when you're almost finished turning the page, and you come back and there's no text in there. It's like, is your eyes playing tricks on you or something? Something's weird about it. But you can't see anything on the page.
Arcana? 14.
Yeah, it seems to be something to kind of block people's seeing of it. There's stuff there, you just can't see it at the moment.
Thumb through the blue book.
It takes you about maybe 5-10 minutes, a little bit longer. The volume kind of details methods and processes for opening a door into the abyss. This is what kind of catches your eye from the material plane. Most of it doesn't make a lot of sense logically. Seems like some kooky magic theory. But a few diagrams show the altar in that chamber you guys came from, you first started in, with representations of four-horned creatures bowing at it and offering their blood.
What else is in it?
Mostly just that, and then details about weak points in the weak points between the abyss and the material plane, whether those exist or not, or whether they have to be made. Things of that nature. Heavy theory.
Does it seem like the altar was already there, or it was built to these specs in this book? Is this book like a manual someone created to get that to work, or did they come up with this and they built that for this?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's a diagram. You feel like when you're looking at it, I could probably make that out of materials, or I could at least construct it if I had those. Because in the margins, there is even written some things like, this material crossed out, this material crossed out, almost iterative.
It's a lab book.
Yeah, lab book.
Well, I don't know what you all got out of that one, but this one has some pretty hokey shit, and I show it to you.
No, great.
I think they built that based off of these notes. I don't know if this belonged to Fortune Guy over here, but
Right. Well,
After I put the spell book away, because obviously I can't really get anything from it right now, I've been kind of reading the book against Fetter's shoulder,
Okay,
the
yeah.
red book, and I'm kind of I go, proper blood.
yeah.
And those have exclamation points to them too, excitement. They're
Right.
Deeper ink on the pen, as if cool. Whereas the ones that are incompatible, deceased, alive.
Obviously, they were trying different folks in this, and just happened to be the four of us that kicked off whatever that was. We explained the Asimar, and here was probably some sort of a rescue party. The ones from out in the cathedral.
possibly, yeah, coming to find her maybe.
Yeah.
The Knoll, that tracks as well because they have demonic heritage, as far as I know.
Yeah.
What's the body on the table that I'm playing with?
What a way to ask that. Do a medicine check.
Oh my god.
So,
Nat 20.
And again,
20?
I'm concerned.
oh my god!
Just start
How many is that? Is that 5? Has she rolled 5 20s this game?
She's probably rolled just as many ones.
Yeah.
Well, keep those dice.
I mean, that's fine, but
It's been a weird.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
wow.
You gotta pay these two off for those dice.
I know,
The
right?
DC was pretty high. What was the when you for the nat 20? What do you get after?
Just a 20.
You start with the left arm, pulled off it, whoop, it's gone. It popped away, it just kind of crumbled off, and that's okay. You kind of keep digging through parts, and it seems to be like you're basically wrecking this body even further. Like anything form it had is starting to come out. You're just kind of tearing through it, but like you're kind of getting bits and pieces. Like, oh, I see. Okay, the way this is shaped, you kind of come to the conclusion that it's probably another Aasimar.
I think they might have saved us on accident, though. What does the book say about me?
It just says monk, good blood.
You show her the
Yeah,
page?
I'll just show the page.
it says the monk, and then next to it, tiefling female, Zariel,
What's Zariel?
proper blood.
That's your bloodline. That's what makes you you. Nothing to be ashamed of.
I just don't know. I was raised by a human dad and then went to the monastery.
It's who you're descended from on your not human side.
Cool.
I like her.
Right.
And moving on.
Giant wall of death.
I guess we have to.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, you guys make your way back. For the sake of time, we'll just do transition down. You guys do make your way back down. There's nothing you haven't seen before, but just everything has a little more context. So yeah, so you find yourself back in that same kind of room with the vision obscuring black wall and the basin in front of you. And you still hear that sound that like this place is kind of a little bit bigger than it might seem.
Just it feels like, doesn't feel like an enclosed space. It's just like the air is just open.
It feels like the section you're on is more of a platform leading out to a much more like larger thing.
Chasm or something.
Chasm of some kind, yeah.
When I kicked the rock over the edge, it went down.
And you never heard it stop, so.
Cool. The
Yeah.
pit of never ending.
The pit of despair.
Don't even think. I'm gonna check this pedestal for traps.
Okay.
A natural one.
It's not trash, as far as you know.
Yeah, this is great. I'll go. So we're doing this, yeah? Pop blood.
As you all drip your blood
Now-
out of it.
When he
Well, I
does,
did it.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did it first.
Yeah.
when he does that,
I'm not
like,
gonna assume anybody else
Okay.
is.
I'm
looking away from it too,
Okay.
apparently, like an idiot. Yeah, guys, so blood, huh?
How about that blood?
Now, when he pours the blood in, Fetter, can you see now?
Well, let's see what happens. As he pours the blood into the basin, it hisses and smokes before evaporating, getting sucked into the stonework itself. And like as if the blood was never there. And you see weakly the pedestal lights up in a red glow around the text around it.
Come on now.
Pop, pour.
Do you guys do the same?
You first. You wanted this.
I didn't say anything about dumping the blood in there. I just wanted to go through that black wall. Oh, God. I pull out the cork and just, like,
Pop it in.
I don't drop all of it in. I just drop, like, maybe a slow pour.
Waste not.
Which is weird because when that one little droplet hits, it still hisses to the same volume as if it had when he poured more of it in.
Okay.
What, are you gonna put it back in? Come on.
Hey, I know what my blood can do, guys.
With all y'all's blood in there, the pedestal lights up completely and like a vibrant red glow, and a thin red line kind of shoots out from the pedestal's base on the ground, traveling into the darkness about a dozen feet or so before stopping. There's a faint glow kind of emanating off this thin red line that seems to defy the darkness around it. In your dark vision, you see like just pathway with that red line, and like surrounding it is black still, except for where it ends. There's still more black, but the path there, that the red line just kind of sits there, wiggles, kind of like it's anxious.
So we got some like parting of the Red Sea happening with the black curtain.
Parting in the
Something like that,
blackness.
It's like the lights on airplanes. Follow the lights to the exit.
This way. Exits are to the
Man,
front,
Delta's
behind,
really
and on the
Delta,
sides.
Delta Airlines has really gotten into some weird shit.
Right, well, anyone else want to go first? So.
Well, I wanted to go through it, so
All right.
moo.
I'll follow right behind her.
Okay. You guys, as you step out onto the path, onto that red line where all your blood is, and that bloodline, you're sitting on solid
bloodline.
Yeah. Your foot steps on solid ground. And you walk forward, and it's solid. You are very much aware that like the rock, hit the side and fell, and you're aware that there's nothing below you, but you're on solid ground. You look down, and all you're standing on is just a red line. And you step forward. As you get to the end of that, the thin red line brightens and gets excited and kind of shoots forward a few more feet and then turns to the left. You guys follow this strange tour guide through various twists and turns that defy any kind of logic you've established about this room.
Feel like we're on a roller coaster a little bit.
After about 20 or 30 minutes of this walking, the red line shoots forward and enters the similar pedestal, kind of similar to what you saw before, brightening to full visibility in response. And you're now in this other chamber that looks almost exactly like the one you just left from, save for a couple details. There's 2 devil statues, so where the previous ones were more imps. These are devil statues in a different configuration than the ones you left behind. These face each other with cupped hands at their chest, almost kind of like pious. Flames also rest in these statues' hands, and past them is just a hall that seems to turn sharply to the right.
Is there anything on this pedestal in here that's worth reading?
It's the same thing.
It's not hell. Whatever, we made some money going my direction.
Okay, let's go. Okay, you guys continue through.
Proper blood? Disintegrating bodies? Zariel? So many questions, but oh, would you look at the time. My ale is gone. Looks like we'll have to end our story for today, folks. Now, don't be glum. I'll be back again before you know it. Just keep those drinks a-comin', and I'll regale you with more tales of these demon days.